going on here to get to start and then stop the beacon bleed. What's not stopping is the pressure that these 4 Cyclone catapults are putting on the core as the team fight breaks down. If this goes badly for 2+2, it is all over.
Great Fear as well as Tidal's forced to pop everything. Essence's adaptation, everything's down. McNulty having to use his dimensional shift to get out as well. Here we go, Burrow coming down. Tidal just in a huge amount of trouble. Jägermeister really wanting to get these kills out of the way, and Arya, Laldo de Soda's coming in on flank, is going to finally secure the kill. Misha's going to go down, but it's not going to be enough. Arya in a huge amount of trouble is going to back away, just ride the hole. It's not even a wall. Ride the hole away. Redder, 5 HP. How is he alive? There he goes. Finally. Axon, making a ton of damage, is going to be the next to fall. Used his timeout instead of Bye-Bye. I think Bye-Bye would have saved him in that particular spot, but ultimately it's not going to matter. The core is already at 35% HP. That was just too long of a fight as catapults were pushing, and ultimately this is going to be the second game going over to the side of Tilt Tactics, tying it up 1-1 in the series on just a crazy second map. And it was a sub-12-minute game.
Wow. That was impressive. That was really, really another one-sided stomp. But in the other side, I haven't seen such straight reversals of games in this entire finals. Really, really well executed by Tilt Tactics. And I wonder what 2+2, they finished that draft and they're like, ooh, this is going to be hard.
Well, I've seen both of these teams play so well, and I've seen them, falter a little bit in other respects. And I think really what this is going to come down to, because the skill level between these two teams is so identical, it's going to come down to drafting. And so we need to find, a good happy medium where both these teams have a good draft. And then at that point, we will see a really long game, I'm sure.
Yes, indeed. We're going to take a quick break, and this time we're not going to keep the away screen up for too long. So we'll be back in just a couple minutes with game number 3.
Okay. Awesome. Do you need to like drink and get mana first? Wowed memes. Let's go.
Alrighty, welcome everybody to Tomb of the Spider Queen. This is Game 3 between 2+2 and Tilt Tactics for Division A's finals here for the next gaming series. And we saw a complete reverse stomp last game with a great draft and great execution by TT. Rory, anything to add to that?
Rockstar.
Rexar, indeed.
The amount of pressure that Edward Torres was able to get in the top lane forced a lot of bad decisions. And again, I mean, you got to give it up to Tilt Tactics. As I said, as long as you're able to get a lot of bad decisions forced, then you're able to ultimately just kind of capitalize upon those decisions with some good counterplays. So Rexar was able to force a lot of rotations from not only Tassadar but Haka as well, and that just left Axon being the only real form of damage in the bot lane. So while he did do a ton of damage, almost doubling that of the next person on the server, it just wasn't quite enough due to the amount of healing that we were able to see out of Lucio.
Yes, that basically sums it up, and it's summed up even further with the Gul'dan ban by 2+2. Another map where Gul'dan thrives, the most lane clear heavy map in the entire game, and Gul'dan not going to be participating.
Well, and it looks like that's going to be countered out by a Garrosh ban as well. Garrosh is so strong on this particular map because of the tight lanes, and you really see a lot of threatening areas that he's able to exploit. So I not want to deal with that, and I like that. Greymane, though, very strong choice, and again, just repeating his amount of popularity, really.
Yeah, I think, speaking of popularity, that was the first game on Braxis. I don't think he was picked or banned. Can you confirm that?
Yeah, that is true.
Wow.
I think he was picked in every game except for one in Division C where he was banned.
Yeah, Game 5 he was banned out. Otherwise, he's been picked pretty much every game, except that last one where specialized drafts came in. So
yep.
Good, just good all-around hero. And we're back to Arthas.
You know, sometimes there comes a hero just once in a while that is just so strong, and you've just got to keep playing him. And I think Arthas really falls into that category as well. He was so impactful this last map that he just you really got to bully out a lot of players, and so I'm excited. And Rhaegar, Arya's staple hero, is just so strong as well, and I'm glad that she's going to be able to play it as well at some point during the series, because the amount of times that I've seen her cleanse something that's normally not cleansed, but it's so impactful that it kind of changes the way the map is looked at. It changes the way the fight really happens. It's pretty strong, and I like that she's going to be able to kind of flaunt that talent.
Indeed. I am now super interested because we finally have the appearance of Zul in our finals, and along with an Uther. I'm so excited for the wave clear that Zul brings, as well as how these Division A players can bring Zul to a team fight with his rework. He can be a force, not a super damaging force, but he is great at supporting his team in a team fight.
Absolutely. That amount of CC that you're able to see out of Zul and Uther, and then if you get mages at level 10, I mean, you're just able to do so much to kind of dictate the pace of a team fight. So I'm anticipating we'll see him in the 4-man rotating between top and mid, and then we'll see Greymane probably in the bot lane getting that, because he's such a strong solo laner, getting that value, and then coming in probably a little bit later at 7 if he's going to be going cocktail build. I think that would be a really ideal spot. And ETC as the ban, I like that because ETC was so overpowered during game number 1.
Oh, gotta take that Mosh tool away from Hollis on an even smaller, closer map where you can land 6-man Moshes when you could only land 5 on Sky Temple. You can get 6 here. That would be truly impressive.
Yeah, I've actually seen a full team Mosh with Vikings being in the midst of it, and it was a beautiful thing. It kind of looked like pure anarchy.
Yeah, absolutely. But Zul's biggest weakness that he brings is that he has to step up in lane to be able to clear everything out. He is melee ranged as opposed to, say, Gul'dan, who can do it at range. And heroes like Arthas, who can point and click a root, or a skill shot a root, slow him down, and then if he has follow-up, he can blow up Zul, and it's all over. So we'll have to see if Tilt Tactics chooses something that can punish the step-up and really gets rid of Zul, or if they decide something else. And that looks like some punishment, if you ask me.
Absolutely. KT and Johanna, just two really, really strong CC targets, and well, CC'er targets, and you're seeing almost a pure CC comp out of Tilt Tactics. They understand how to be able to work the map in a way that allows them to get picks, and Zul really thrives in a way where he's able to get his team a lot of pressure in the lanes, but he's not as impactful in team fights. So I'm almost for sure thinking we're going to see a Nubarak, because it really helps limit the amount of effectiveness KT brings. But you're going to have to have somebody else up in the front line as well to kind of protect, and that's going to limit them on the amount of damage they're able to put out, because Johanna is really survivable, Arthas is really survivable, Rhaegar's just one of the best solo healers in the game, and KT is going to hurt you when you step up. So I really, at this point in the draft, I kind of got to give favor to Tilt Tactics, just understanding how to put pressure on Zul in particular, and I think he's going to really be limited to his effectiveness.
Does 2+2 want to change your mind here with a Nubarak and what will likely be a Moonfire build Malfurion? Ooh, I like it. I like it. I've run it before. It's great.
Yeah, Laser Chicken Malfurion is it's pretty threatening. I like it.
Laser Chicken, is that what the Moonfire is?
Yeah.
That's incredible. That's usually reserved for Hinterland Blast on Falstad, but apparently we'll have Laser Chicken Malfurion, hopefully. But his level 1 quest, once he clears 120, or is near the deaths of 125 minions, he will gain incredible wave clear potential. I mean, he can double soak while the rest of the team goes off and does their own thing. He can clear out minions and monsters, so that includes all of the web weavers. So it's a really niche pickup, and I really like it. And we've done it before as a composition, so I have a little insight on it, and it's wonderful.
Yeah, I am a little bit wary about the amount of damage that is on on 2+2's side. Tilt Tactics has a little bit more in terms of damage, just based upon what these heroes can bring in their talent picks. So I'm curious to see if Anubarak's really able to dictate some engagements and really allow for Zul and Greymane to do a lot of damage.
Yes, indeed. Well, alrighty. We'll be getting into this load screen as what appears to be Team Fire and Ice on the right side here with Kael'thas and Ragnaros. And Arthas goes against, I don't know, do we have a theme here for 2+2? Theme, I think Anubarak deals with dead and Zul some dead. I don't know. Seems good. So
no, I don't think there's a theme there.
No. I think we're going to stay here, stay on this screen, not go ahead and jump into that be right back screen, so we don't have any of the problems we had last game. Right. Let's go ahead and start on the right side this game.
All right. And in the red trunks, that is going to be Tilt Tactics. We're sitting here at a 1-to-1 series, and it's a really, really strong start for Tilt Tactics as of the second game. And we see Ragnaros being handled by Laldo to Sodas. Jägermeister finally making an appearance on those mages, and that's Kael'thas. Arya on her signature Rhaegar. Big Daddy Huff on Johanna, one of his best heroes, and Edward Torres rounding it out on Arthas.
And over here on the side of 2+2, teaching us how to add, we have Axon on Greymane, Hollis on Anubarak, Tythel on Zul, McNulty on Malfurion, and Raider on Uther.
A bit of a 5v5 scrap in the mid lane, and everybody's kind of throwing out a little bit of trade shots, just trying to get some poke, forcing somebody to get a little bit exposed here. But this is where Zul thrives. A good collapse, though, is going to have a huge amount of damage coming out of Jägermeister. That was a massive flame strike. and it forced a lot of early mana out of Redder. And here we go, just both teams focusing a little bit more on trying to get those lanes cleared up. Torres taking quite a bit of damage, as well as Axon and Redder is going to go to the bottom lane. And not the standard 4-1 that you usually see, but this is going to leave Hollis and McNulty a little bit exposed up in the top lane. And ultimately, Hollis is going to be going down here. Laldo de Sodas is doing a ton of work, and then followed by that stun from Jägermeister. It was just a perfect amount of damage. And McNulty's in trouble as well, as he's going to get condemned right back in to that flame strike from Jägermeister.
Ooh. I really like this. There's so much wave clear already available on the side of 2+2, even though they did get taken out and the rotation's coming down to try and pick off this solo lane. But I like the idea of the 3-2. We'll just have to see if they're executing it, which so far they've had a tough time doing. Axon gets picked off in the bottom lane.
It did take all 5 coming down to the bottom lane to get Axon, though, and that's going to put a little bit of a damper on the lane clear, and that's a lot of gems up in the top lane that was missed, and a lot of ammo drained, which is really where Zool thrives. That's what you want on a Zool comp, and Tidal is doing so good so far, you know, trying to get that that clear going, and ultimately I think that wasn't quite worth sending all 5 people down to the bottom for 1 kill. It's not a lot of XP gained in the early game.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Here comes, seems like we've slipped into a bit more of a standard rotation as Axon covers the middle lane, and then we'll go back down to his bottom lane fortress with Uther there. Little pokes going out, Bone Prisons and Kel'Thas. I know it's pretty common to see Mana Addict, but I would secretly like to see Convection here. I would have smiled on the inside.
Absolutely, and Jaeger plays Convection really well. He understands how to keep himself safe, and again, just a massive amount of damage coming out from Laldo de Sodas, and he's running that Sulfurous Hungers quest, so wanting to get a lot of those minion kills. And after 30, you just get so much more damage on your Q, and right now he's really putting it to work, and I like that he's so well committed to getting that early damage in as well.
Axon in a lot of trouble, and again gets taken out by a good rotation down by Jägermeister. Making the bottom lane absolutely hell for 2+2. Even though there are 2 people down there, it's just not making a difference.
And just a little side note as well, we actually had Eternal Hunger pick up by Edward Torres on Arthas. It's normally the root quest, but finding a little bit more utility out of that trait and getting that mana back, wanting to stay in the lane, and there we go, the quest being completed on Sulfurous Hungers by Laldo de Sodas. So very, very good prioritization on that. It's going to burst his or boost his burst up quite a bit in this early game.
Yes, indeed. Here comes, oh my gosh, Big Huff Money getting a great body block and condemn. Jägermeister comes in with a follow-up Flame Strike. Really good damage. Ends up picking off Malfurion, and after tap still gets Tidal on the Zool.
Definitely a very, very strong amount of CC coming out from Tilt Tactics, knowing that they want to be able to take this early game. And we've got a full level lead now, as a turn-in is now getting staged for the side of Tilt Tactics. And I think that they're going to stall this out just a little longer. There we go. And they are going to finally turn in. I think Hollis could interrupt, though, and it's what he's going to do right at the very last second.
I like how he just went up and was like, he didn't drop a range Q. He took his time and went, poke. And just kind of annoyed him. Good use there.
Absolutely. Shout out to everybody in the chat who let us know, by the way, last game about the little radio man error. But yep. I appreciate everybody participating in the chat, and you know, everybody coming out for this next gaming series finals. It's great seeing so many teams that want to participate and want to be part of this, and we're able to have a lot of great fun doing it.
And we get to watch some really high-level play here today. These are Master Plus players competing in a HGC Open. It's really cool to watch as Red Blood Weavers come in for this. Axon taking more damage. He is in so much pain this entire game.
Yeah, unfortunately, when you have Ragnaros and Kel'Thas, you're gonna get your fur on fire. And I mean, he's wearing a cape too. And Incredibles, you know, they said no capes.
We're gonna go back there, aren't we?
We're gonna go back there. It's okay. We're on game number 3 of a really long day, and puns have to happen.
Oh, thank goodness.
Bad jokes and puns, they're mandatory at this point.
Yeah, please. I'm glad that we got full Laser Chicken Malfurion out. We did correctly call the Wave Clear Malfurion. He's 37 away from being able to finish his quest, I believe. That's when it finishes up. Axon taken out again by Sulfurous Smash.
That was a great condemn over the wall, and it allowed for Laldotasotus to be right up against the wall and put up that hurt. And even before that as well, we saw Papa Huff throw out a blind as well. So it limited the amount of damage that Laldotasotus could take, and allowed him to be able to step up safely.
Yep. Level 10's picked up 4 Tilt Tactics, so they have the opportunity to turn in, grab 5 more gems, and bring a second consecutive turn in down onto 2+2, which could start snowballing the map out of control depending on how many kills they're able to pick up doing it.
Absolutely. The best thing to be able to do on this map is to be able to get a turn in and then get a second turn in to follow up after you get 10s, and that is by far one of the most snowbally things you could do on this map. And right now, they're on the cusp of getting another turn-in here. And if they're able to combo 2 turn-ins together, it's just so hard to be able to recover with the amount of structural damage that you'd have to be able to recover from. You really suffer in the long term of this game. And I wouldn't be surprised to see, after that kill onto Axon, 13's being able to be picked up shortly following, but Tidal in a huge amount of trouble. Stun going down, and just a massive amount of damage as Laldotasotus just deletes him with his Meteor. And this is going to be another turn-in here as well, as everybody's getting ready for the next stage. But it's going to be a tight squeeze as Huff Bunny goes up to interrupt, and that is going to be what dictates the difference, as now we have a turn-in once again for Tilt Tactics.
Mana Addict finish for Jägermeister, so although he hasn't been under any pressure so far, if there will be any pressure, he will be able to put up a big shield and to protect against it.
Absolutely, and he's positioning a little bit aggressively, but is sniffed up by Redder and Axon, and they're in position to be able to capitalize. But Edward Torres really in a lot of trouble. His mana's low, and he's not really in any sort of spot to survive that damage. Unfortunately, we just didn't have Rhaegar in a position to be able to get it. And a huge Twilight Dream is going to capture 4, but McNulty's just so low on health and mana, and Tidal's so low on health. It's just not enough, and Tidal's going to go down off of a huge Sulfurous Smash. Phoenix is going to go down as well. It's going to help secure the fort. And ultimately, we've got a 2-for-1 pretty early, as now we've got Laldotasotus getting right into that Molten Core. Going to secure a little bit more damage and push that lane a little further. And I think he's going to be throwing a lot more of that damage down onto the keep wall as well. Mid-fort looks like it's going to go down as well.
Wow. Great engage. And I thought for a second 2+2 was going to come out with the advantage there after the Divine Shield hit Tidal with less than 10 HP. He was able to tap, come back in, but then he was just taken out a bit too soon, and then the whole thing started to snowball with that great Sulfurous Smash. So we'll have to see. Already a 3-level advantage before 10 minutes, and McNulty is going to offer his XP as a tribute as well.
That reminded me of the movie. Oh shoot, what's it called? It had oh man, I can't remember the actress's name. Anyway, she offered herself as tribute.
The Hunger Games, Jennifer Lawrence.
Yeah, there you go.
I thought that was where you're going. There we go. Yeah, J-Law and the
Jennifer
Hunger
Lawrence.
Games. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
My lady just corrected me on that with an attitude that said, "I can't believe you don't know that."
And that's on stream for everybody to hear. So
yep.
Fantastic.
I've never watched that movie, but I remember that scene from a commercial once.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. So, unfortunately, it didn't have such a noble cause. Hunger Games, she offered herself up instead of her sister. There, Malfurion just offered himself up because he wanted to.
Yeah.
But
just so that this whole conversation has a point, I'm just going to go with McNulty is Jennifer Lawrence.
Absolutely. Excellent. So here's the comeback point. 2+2 has to do all of the following. Defend this without dying, win a team fight, get multiple turn-ins, like 2 or 3 consecutively. They have enough for 3 consecutively. And then go from there. They'll catch up from that, but we'll have to see. Hollis is in a lot of trouble. Divine Shield comes out, but the keep goes down so early that Luldotosotus is able to take it over in full power Ragnaros mode, and that is just absolutely crazy. Even with the Webweaver's defense, it looks like the core is under grave threat by Tilt Tactics.
That was just a great collapse onto McNulty on the Mount Fury, and he had Twilight Dream available, but the amount of CC that came out to be able to limit him and the stun follow-up as well was just way too much, and no Twilight Dream was to be had. However, if he had gotten that off, that was definitely a solid defense that could have been had. And again, Tilt Tactics just showing how strong a really good draft is for them. And we've got game number 2 going over to them.
That's game number 3, win number 2. They're one away from finishing this series off, and another rapid game made it up to, I believe, level 16 or so in 11 minutes. These games have been so one-sided all throughout this series, but yep. All right, well, we'll take a quick break. You can see our progress here up in the top. We've got 3 games down, the last 2 going over to Tilt Tactics. First going to 2+2. Match point will come up on Dragonshire very shortly, as we've already gotten into the map. We'll be back in just a minute.
Dragonshire.
Welcome back to Nexus Gaming Series Division A Finals. This is our first match point on Dragonshire, and I believe our first game on Dragonshire of these entire finals of all 3 divisions. This is 2+2 and Tilt Tactics. Tilt Tactics up 2-1. Could have a chance to take this home right here. Joining it again for yet another wonderful cast, it is Rory.
Yeah, that was just such a strong game from Tilt Tactics. Really just playing off of the fact that they had so much CC, the stuns, the amount of roots that they had. It was just really hard to play against when you are running a Zul comp that thrives on that lane clear and being able to get lane pressure. And that's definitely a strong map for it. Unfortunately, it just wasn't quite executed the way that 2+2 had wanted. Now we have ourselves a game number 4, and this is match series league championship point for Tilt Tactics, and they are on a spree already. Though on Dragonshire, we're seeing a Dahaka ban and a Mouthdale ban. 2 very strong picks for this particular map. What do you think the thought is behind the Mouthdale ban in particular?
Mouthdale's surprisingly one of the best solo laners that exists, and this map has some extended solo lane durations, especially up in that top lane. So Mouthdale could bring a lot of value. They could also be looking for more of a bulky composition, which Mouthdale can kind of tear apart with his damage over time and his percent damage to all these tanks. So that would indicate they're planning to go kind of 2-tank style, but we'll have to see as a Falstad's picked up for Tilt Tactics.
I like the Falstad pick. It's such a strong map for globals, being able to rotate really quickly, and being that Falstad has a limited range on his global presence, this map really allows him to be anywhere on the map that he needs to be at a moment's notice. There are a few exceptions in which he's able to rotate, and ultimately that is kind of, I think, what Tilt Tactics are going to run for. They want to get picks. They want to be able to get some scrappy team fights where they're able to get a good couple of trades and get some shrine presence and potentially get a couple of early Dragon Knights. And I like that style of play. It really, I think, is going to depend upon who Huff is going to be playing in the long run to allow for those kinds of rotations to happen. But on the other side of things, we have ETC and Uther. What do you think?
Well, I mean, there's some very obvious implications with this ETC. It means we get to see Hollis try and drop more sick mosh pits, which was absolutely the game changer in game number 1, where 2+2 won on a 3-man mosh and a 5-man mosh. I mean, it was game changing. It was game changing. And with Uther, they have the holy cow composition. There will be no more interrupts from a Tychus grenade or a Garrosh Q. It's going to be the full duration. We'll have to see. It's going to come down to that, really, is how well can 2+2 execute the mosh pit, and how well will Tilt Tactics be able to disengage off of it, and the Falstad's already a great pickup for it.
Absolutely. I think it's going to come down to just making sure that Tilt Tactics are spread out, not allowing for a lot of those engagements to happen where Hollis is going to gain a ton of value for Mosh Pit. And Anubrak as the ban, I think, really accents that that's their plan, because Anubrak can really put a squash on that, because as soon as Hollis engages, he can just cocoon. And then you don't have to worry about it, because, you know, you don't get cleansed out of a cocoon with D-Shield.
No, you don't. That's it. Once you're in there, you're a one-man show. As we continue to bring in more ETC lines. I like it. I like ETC. I've never picked him up as a hero, but I think he would be a ton of fun. Might have to do it. So consider yourself an inspiration there, Hollis.
You want to hear a little fun fact?
What is a fun fact?
So the band that ETC is inspired off of, or Level 70 ETC, the band that Blizzard employees, I actually was in a band not too long ago, and on one show, we actually covered one of their songs called I Am Murloc.
Oh, man. I Am Murloc.
It was one of the nerdiest things I ever did, and that was such a fun song to play.
That's fantastic. Genji getting the ban. I know you're more familiar with the teams than I am, but if I remember correctly, there was a game where I think it was 2+2 took Genji, Abathur, Li Ming on Cursed Hollow and just brought the pain. Can you check
that was Tilt Tactics.
Curses. And it was one of these teams.
Yes, it was Edward Torres on the Genji, Laldo de Sotis on Abathur, and my thought can wait, because we've got Cho'Gall in this.
We have Cho'Gall in the house. We did not go the finals without Chaos Incarnate. Oh, man. And without Ariel, too. This will be the first time I've seen Cho'Gall being played without Ariel, basically ever.
You know, Ariel, as strong as Ariel is with Cho'Gall, I think Rehgar is still a really strong choice, because you get a lot of the things that you want with a Cho'Gall as well. You get some of that lightning bond damage. You're able to pour on a little bit more there. You get some additional slows. Sure, you don't get the stun from the whip, but that's a little bit harder to land than a totem is. And you still get Ancestral, which is great. And more importantly, you get a cleanse, which is, you know, one of the big things that you want against an ETC and an Uther, where you're possibly going to get moshed. So I like that they were willing to go into this after they saw Anubrak was banned, who is the hardest counter to Cho'Gall that there is. And so I think this is really going to be 2+2 wanting to rotate really heavily, get some good damage out, as well as try to find picks on everybody but Cho'Gall, and just make it to 20. Once you make it to 20, Nazebo brings the hurt, and Cho'Gall's in a lot of trouble. But until then, I think I have to give it to Tilt Tactics to put some real pain on early game.
And a Tychus last picked up for 2+2. You have to wonder how comfortable they are. They've landed themselves up with a solo support Uther, a Tychus to add to this composition, which seems more like a Cho'Gall response than what they're planning to do. And sometimes Tychus doesn't do his damage particularly quickly. We might see the bigger they are at 4, but it'll really depend on how that Tychus is being played against the Cho'Gall and how well Cho'Gall is able to handle that. So, with all that said, I'm excited for what could be the final game. If not, we'll have one more true final game. You ready, Rory?
I am so set. I mean, this is... Oh, man, it's like Christmas. It's everything I want in the finals.
Yes, indeed. All right, on the left side of Dragonshire, going against the mighty force of Cho'Gall, it is 2+2 with their tournament life on the line. Can they beat the two-headed monster? They have McNulty on the Tychus, Typhel on Sonya, Axon on Nazeebo, Raider on Uther, and Hollis on that very dangerous ETC.
And in the red trunks, up 2-1 in the series that, quite frankly, is probably the best series of finals that we've seen yet. We've got Arya, team captain. That's going to be on Rhaegar. Laldo de Sodas playing Greymane this time around. Jägermeister playing on Falstad, and we have got. I'm gonna call it Huffrez.
That's Huffreys.
Huffreys, yeah, there we go. That's Big Daddy Huff, as well as Edward Torres. And we've got something that we don't normally see in this particular league, and that is going to be a lot of minion blocking from 2+2, trying to allow for the minions opposite them to gain a little bit more ground so that they don't have to extend as far to get those minions cleared up and they're able to rotate a little faster.
Yeah, it gives them a little bit more defensive positioning. It's very minor. I mean, it's like 5% of the lane. But, you know, if you don't want to go out for that early pick, that's exactly what you can do. As Hollis goes in, gets a power slide, and Tychus is able to channel that trait into Cho'Gall and do half his health.
Absolutely, and Arya takes a ton of damage as well, getting trapped in that zombie wall. Hollis is forced to back away, so they're not really able to capitalize and potentially get any kills. But ultimately, that was a really pretty standard, you know, no-kill trade, and ultimately a little bit of positional advantage for 2+2 as they're able to rotate a little faster.
Yeah.
And a quick update on the football game. My team just got a touchdown.
Congratulations.
I'm happy. Like, this is just a good day, man.
And it is a good day. It's been a really awesome day for next gaming series as Huffreys gets absolutely chunked. Might go down to poison damage, gets down to 30 and lives. That's crazy.
How much was that in metric?
Oh, it was just so little. It could be as small as a little pea hair.
Oh man, I'm glad that I got you to say that. Like that's a minor victory for me.
Yeah, it won't last after these finals, but you know what? We'll throw it in there. We'll throw it in there.
Friendship's a good thing. Making your friends do stuff they don't want to do is awesome.
I think that's how it works. Is it?
Maybe, I don't know.
Friendship.
I like the top lane matchup though. Tythel on Sonya is really good at bullying out Jägermeister, and Jäger's really low on mana, so he's not able to do a lot of what Falstad does best in clearing those lanes, and he's doing a good job getting that Season Marksman stacked up, but Sonya is just so threatening in that top lane, one of the best solo laners in the game, and this is definitely going to be a matchup that they're going to have to pay close attention to, because it could result in a pick pretty early onto Jägermeister if he gets a little bit too ballsy.
Yeah, he will be able to dive over that wall if things get bad for him, but until level 7, Falstad's going to struggle. Once you get that boomerang, it'll be a little bit better, but...
he's in a lot of trouble, though, as his health pool just disintegrates. Laldo de Sodas, though, knew what was happening and just gets that really quick rotate up, and Greymane's a little bit of a better matchup against a Sonya in the top lane. Does a little bit more damage and allows for a little bit of an easier time, but ultimately he still needs to be safe up there. Tythel being the dominant force up in the top lane is already caps the bottom shrine.
Yeah, we'll have to see when these teams choose to deviate away from this their initial strategy. Who decides to switch rotations? We've already seen Greymane and Falstad switch, at least for now. Who's going to get the first siege camps? Who's going to do the first top lane gank? Things like this are going to be what changes this game.
Yeah, unfortunately, Tilt Tactics, in order for them to be able to really get any sort of value, they need to do that! They need to kill Sonya.
So good.
Laldo de Sodas, man. Just so little health, but he kept Tythel in there just long enough for Fly to come up, and Jägermeister just pounces like a cat on a mouse.
Impressive job there. That'll definitely switch the balance of power. Tilt Tactics being able to catch up a good bit, even up the XP, even up the kills for the most part, and also enjoying having to deal with the siege camp in the bottom lane.
Absolutely. And we do have bombs away being picked up for Cho'Gall, and Hollis gets barrel rolled over by Jaeger, and it was just over the edge of the bush, so he wasn't able to see that Hollis was there. Starts channeling, gets pushed away. I love that.
Yep, just that quick little deny. Good positioning there by Hollis to just make sure that quick cap did not occur while they had a moment of vulnerability, as they're able to recap now. And ooh, not a lot of people in position except the hero minion. Look at this minion with the interrupts. Wow.
Reggie the minion is the hero of the day.
Reggie, huh?
His name is Reggie.
All right.
He works at Goodwill when he's not volunteering.
What a real hero Reggie is, as ETC comes down. Follow up onto Arya, and there she goes. Gone by Rhaegar. So now Humphreys is going to be without support for a little while, but it doesn't matter. Loldo de Soda's finally able to sneak and grab that Dragon Knight.
That was a really, really solid rotation by Loldo de Sodas. He knew that in order for Arya to get blown up like she did, there would have to be a huge rotation down. And it allowed him to be able to pick up the first Dragon Knight of the game and get some tower damage. And ultimately, if he's able to get some of these towers down, he could end up resulting. It could end up resulting in his team getting 10s first, which is where they're really going to hit their power spikes. That's where you see a lot more threatening coming out of Humphreys on the Cho'Gall, and a heck of a lot more threat coming out of Loldo de Sodas with that cursed bullet.
Indeed, indeed. I want to point out that we did have that the bigger they are picked up on Tychus to really chunk out the first 2/3 of health from Cho'Gall. Very important to get that right after the ETC power slide, as well as full spiders. Q-build Uther. We have combat Uther coming out. Oh, I'm excited for that. I hadn't even seen that.
That's pretty awesome. I like that a lot of these different heroes that we see that are so normal for their picks are getting a lot of variety. McNulty getting shot down by that the Shadow Volley, and that was quite a bit of damage going on to him. Uther's going to complete his quest as well, and this, I think, is just going to be both teams just kind of backing up. Not really any team in a good position to get a solid engagement. Hammer of Twilight, though, was picked up for Cho, and so look for a lot of that stun potential to come out as a way of interrupting what we've got now on the table, and that's a Mr. Mosh Pit.
Oh, here we go. It's Hollis's time to shine. Let's see what he can do. Very patient, though. Not really overextending these, trying to overextend himself to get these moshes. It's just kind of happening, and it's a good job. He's done a great job being a vision ward and then being able to punish people who check into it. Ooh, we have Leap on Sonya just picked up.
Yeah, I think they're trying to just do as much as they can to set up the stuns and try to get a good engagement with Mosh. We got Shadow Bolt Volley coming out as well a little bit early. Hollis not in the right position. A great Ancestral, though, but we've got that Divine Shield, and Mosh coming out, just not a great positioning for it. And it's going to be collapsed upon. Redder going down. Jägermeister in the back just doing tons of damage, but Odin's popped, and he's caught out a little bit forward. He regroups with the rest of his team, but Axon, Hollis, and Tidal just so low on health and not enough mana to really go around, as they are going to be forced to disengage off the back of this Odin. And that is just a huge win in terms of the short game when it comes to engagements on Cho'Gall. That was about as good as you can get without there being a total collapse of communication on the side of 2+2.
Yeah, I think they did a great job. The Mosh was impactful. It got 2 of them, but it didn't get everybody. And unfortunately, that was able to allow Tilt Tactics to be able to respond. God, well my played, ears. Dude. Well played, Voodoo. Well played. Holy shit, my ears. Because he talks so quiet. I have his Discord voice turned up. Get some adrenaline pumped so into great. This broadcast. Holy crap. Way to go. Alright, there's heroes happening, and McNulty is dead. Humphreys takes him out with the help of Jägermeister and some minions. Oh my goodness.
All right. And just to verify for anybody who had these questions, this is not like Cheer League in which you pay a monthly fee or whatever. You pay a one-time fee to be able to play in this league. This league is completely free, and with the changes that we've got to the prize pools and whatnot, that's not going to change. This is still going to be a free service that we're providing. This league is 100% available to anybody who has a team and the drive to compete.
Yep, and competition will be fierce next season. I'm excited for it as Jägermeister flies in and grabs the second Dragon Knight. And this will be a strong, strong push with Greymane to support Curse Bullet Burst and Huffreeze and Arya up and ready to go.
And Bombs Away has been completed, so a lot of damage that was able to be done pretty early by Retours on the Gaul, and that's in preparation for Jägermeister being in. Odin's going to be popped, but I'm anticipating a kick from Jägermeister, throwing him to the back, being like, hey, buddy, I don't give a shit if you're an Odin. I don't want you here.
But massive units can't be displayed. Oh, wait, that's StarCraft. RIP. He did actually try and kick him to start, but he was just a little bit early, and so the channeling in time period of the Odin was able to interrupt the kick, because that part is unstoppable. But
fair enough. Paula's taking a ton of damage as well as Retours pops out not only a bomb, but Shadow Bolt Volley. And again, just another bomb doing work. And Jaeger has sat on 2% on that Dragonite for a long time. McNulty taking a ton of damage as Cho'Gall goes in. Divine Shield being popped a little bit early, and it's not on the target you want. And we do have Mosh available, which just wasn't in a good position to be able to do anything with. And now that combination is going to be down for about 80 more seconds. And we don't even have Gargantuan available. Really, right now, the only chance that there is for any sort of real engagement is if they get a leap into a Mosh, and that's where we're going to see some proactive play at a 2+2. It looks like they're just kind of on the retreat here as they're going to pick up this camp and force Tilt Tactics to back away. Health pools and mana bar's just a little bit too low to really re-engage here.
yeah, that does seem to be the case as the talent tiers are evened up. They're 14 now to 15. And here comes a collapse, possibly. Good ultimate, I believe. The little Twilight Hammer, able to knock Hollis back after power sliding. So, good play overall. Gonna wait till that level 16 talent tier. Tilt Tactics will, so they can take that good talent advantage and a good fight on the next objective.
Yep, 2+2 just trying to paint their side of the map blue, as well as getting this bottom camp. And I like that they are wanting to get some of that map control back, but ultimately it's going to be sniffed out by Dr. Huff and his trusty assistant, Mr. Edward Torres.
You know what a great title would be? Henchman. Henchman Torres.
All right, it is officially Dr. Huff and Henchman Torres.
I like it. I like it. Fantastical. Here comes the Dragon Knight. I wonder if they'll ever put Cho'Gall in that so they can use the Gall abilities on top of the big bulky Dragon Knight. Hollis gets smacked backwards in a little bit of trouble. Silenced by the Runic Bomb. Takes a lot of health. Takes a lot of damage, but is able to escape as the beacons go up and are split evenly to start.
You know, my mind is a weird place. I don't know why I imagine this, but with Gust coming out, I mean, this is definitely going to be a huge amount of damage done onto Hollis as well as Axon, and they're forced to back away. Again, Mosh Pit just not used as D-Shield is wasted, and I like that they were able to get out without any deaths, and they really need that to happen pre-16, which they are on the cusp of. I know, not a good enough reason to use the word cusp, but it happened, so deal with it. Good Ice Block to dodge the Runic Bomb, and again, just trying everything they can to defend here as 16s have been now finally picked up. And here's where we see some power spikes. Again, 2+2 just needs to hold on until they're able to hit 20s. Tidal, though, a huge amount of trouble in the back as he spins to win. Already at half HP as Laldo to Sodas and Arya back away. Just, there's so much suspense, man.
It really is. There are going to be sparks that fly, each team with 4 kills. Something's going to happen soon, and it's going to change the game in a major way. And we just have to see, is it going to be a Mosh? Is it going to be a Leap? Is it going to be a Shadow Bolt Volley? Or an Ancestral, even. We will have to see as Axon. Let's do a check. He's at 187 stacks already. of Voodoo Ritual, so he will be in great shape once they get to level 20. The problem is, level 20 is so good for Cho'Gall with that Shadow Bolt Volley Pierce. That is the Team Ripper.
Absolutely, and Lalo is in a huge amount of trouble as McNulty and Hollis have collapsed on him, and here we go. There's the turnaround we were looking for, as Hollis now in a bunch of trouble is going to be thrown away. Odin popped as well, but Hollis can be taken down by Jägermeister in the background. That's going to be moshed down. Great gust right into the towers as Huffrey's now on the offensive. Divine Shield going to be popped onto the Odin, but that's going to be a full disengage, it looks like, from 2+2, as they're positioning now to be able to retake these shrines to potentially get their first Dragonite of the game. Unstoppable being popped, however, for Cho'Gall, and that is a huge collapse on a McNulty. He's going to be going down. The Great Ancestral onto the Cho'Gall as well is going to keep both of them alive. Redder now is on the full retreat as Tidal gets taken away. And here we go. There's that Earth Grasp Totem coming in real hard. And that's going to be, at this distance, almost a full team wipe.
Yeah, that was a 4-for-1 trade in the advantage of Tilt Tactics, and that seemed to be what we were looking for. That could change this game. Arya going to come down here and grab the siege camp. Going to get invaded on. Could be caught with a good zombie wall and Hollis. That should be a dead Rhaegar.
Yep, that's a dead pup.
Hmm? No. Maybe. Oh my god, 30 health. 30 health, the scaling advantage. That's...
I want to see a game 5.
Oh.
Like, I don't want to cheer in any one direction because I'm friends with both of these teams and they're both so good.
You just want to see more good games. That's all.
I do, man.
That's all we want. I always root for whoever's down. But right now it's going to be a hard job for 2+2 as Tilt Tactics comes in here with level 20 now. They're going to have that devastating Shadow Bolt Volley Pierce, Shadow Fury. They have the Dragonite. They have everything they need to make an absolutely terrifying push once Rhaegar comes back.
Hollis just continually taking damage from those runic bombs. Jägermeister's getting burnt down in the Dragonite, but that's just the beginning of this team fight as, I mean, that's 2 big bodies doing a ton of damage up in the front as Cho'Gall and Jaeger and the Dragonite are doing work. And this could be the first keep of the game. And it looks like Jägermeister's going to finally lose his Dragonite here in just a moment. D-Shield being popped down onto McNulty and the Odin. Ooh. But that's going to be a huge Runic Bomb and Flame Blast as well, as both ETC and Tychus lose their lives here. Again, Hollis not able to use that Mosh in any sort of aggressive way. Redder is going to back away. Ancestral being used on a Jaeger to keep him up and into the fight. First keep's going to go down, and Cho'Gall wants more. Dr. Huff going in with his sidekick.
Henchman Torres.
Exactly. Henchman Torres and Dr. Huff, captains of the Hobby Lobby.
Well, they might be captains of Division A if Wind Tunnel comes out. The core goes down 30%, 20%. There's nothing they can do. Sonya goes down. Tilt Tactics takes Division A 3-1.
What just happened?
Oh my goodness. I'll tell you what happened. 13 games today. All awesome games to watch. Fantastic.
Okay. Look at the damage.
That is 117,000 damage put out by that Gaul. That is...
He over doubled the highest amount of hero damage on anybody on the team.
I'm going to run a quick calculator, but back of the envelope math says that was more damage than the entirety of 2+2.
What happened?
It is higher than their than 4 heroes put together. There's 130,000 damage put down.
Jesus, that was just an insane amount of play. And I mean, Dr. Huff and Henchman Torres, just the dynamic duo in that Cho'Gall, so impactful, and it became kind of the niche that they needed to be able to close out a map like Dragonshire. They needed something to be able to set the pace. They needed something to kind of get that cadence going, and it was just an insane amount of play. And lucky for us, we'll be joined shortly by some of the members of Tilt Tactics to be able to talk over that game and get their final thoughts. Following that, however, we're going to be naming MVPs not only of well, we've already heard MVPs of Division C and B. We're going to name divisions of Division A finals MVPs. And then after that, I've actually got final numbers for MVPs of the league, these are voted by everybody in the league based upon nominations that happen throughout the playoffs. And so we'll be going through the final numbers. Again, some of the numbers in the straw poll might be a little skewed. I'm only taking single votes, not taking duplicated votes, and I'm only taking votes with IPs that are reasonable. So not taking votes from anybody in Singapore. We don't have any Singapore players. So just a quick notice to everybody out there watching. That's I mean, it's a pretty heavy landslide for who won MVPs. I'm thinking. I mean, what do you think for this particular series?
For this particular series, I'm not entirely certain. I was jumping on the Hollis train to start, but once, like I said, maybe it was a little delayed. Said if a comeback were to happen from Tilt Tactics in that game, the MVP would have to switch. Well, it didn't happen that game, but the series MVP, but the series comeback absolutely occurred after that Sky Temple loss. Tilt Tactics came back and won by no less than 3 levels every single game. So I want to hear your thoughts on MVP as well. I'm kind of somewhere between Laldo de Sodas and Jägermeister with the flexes, but I want to hear from you as well.
I honestly, I think we kind of have to give it to Edward Torres, in my opinion.
That works.
He was such a staple in a lot of these different maps, and then really extremely impactful on both Tomb of the Spider Queen as well as on Dragonshire. Just those 2 maps in particular were the amount of disruption he was able to get with those 2 heroes were just insane. I mean, it was so easy to see why he's looked at as one of the best players in Division A.
Who did he play on Braxis and Tomb? What heroes?
See, Braxis, I believe he was on
Sam Gul'dan?
No, Edward Torres was on Rexar on Braxis.
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah, definitely. Edward Torres was on Rexar, and then in the other game, he was on Arthas. Okay, yeah, give it to him. So impactful. That was... I couldn't remember. I've gone through too many games. I'm hoping that you remembered them, but these... Oh, I totally agree with you after that. Laldo de Sodas did a great job on Ragnaros and on Gul'dan. Definitely a runner-up, but I think for sure we'll have to give it to Edward Torres, or as he will be now known as Henchman Torres.
Yep. Dr. Huff and Henchman Torres will be joining us actually pretty shortly in the Discord as well to just talk over that game. But real quick, just as a quick reminder, following up in Season 2, we're looking at bigger prize pools. We're looking at weekly giveaways, not only for the viewers, but for the teams as well. And again, this league is completely free for those who had that question. It's completely free for anybody who wants to play. You just get 5 friends together, come out here, and just compete, and then have fun doing so. Most of your games are going to be casted by some of our great casting staff, and it's just a lot of fun and a great way to be able to improve at the game and enjoy it at a different level. So go to nexusgamingseries.wixsite.com/home. You got to have the /home in there. I don't know why. It's just what the website does. So go to that website, register your team, get onto Discord, which you can find on our information on the website, and just reach out to one of the admins, get yourself signed up, and we'd be more than happy to have you in Season 2, which will be starting in just, I believe, 8 days.
It will. September 18th. Mark your calendars. We'll be taking registrations up until, I believe, next Friday or Saturday. We'll place people in divisions, and then we'll get underway with Season 2 with some extra improvements. By the way, thank you, Archangel, for the shout out. Make sure you drink water. I drink esports juice. That is Gatorade. Appreciated. Got to get those electrolytes. We've been here all day. Thank you very much for joining me, Rory. In every game you could. It's been a blast.
Absolutely. Well, we've got Jaeger up in the next channel. We're going to go ahead and get a quick few words with him and see what his thoughts are following that victory and his plans for next season. So stick with us for just a second. We'll be right back.
I gave them the link to the Discord, but they're not showing up.
Rip. Quitters.
Oh, well.
Might get Ari in here as well. We will have to see. Well, regardless, congratulations. You
Yeah,
took those
thanks.
last
Feels
3
good.
games convincingly, and I was worried for you guys after game 1.
Game 1, we had 2 different draft strategies, and we kind of like fell in the middle of them, which doesn't really work either. Go all the way in one direction or all the way in the other direction. So yeah, it was a little rough. We didn't get what we wanted 100%, and they like one of the picks that they made was one of the picks that we wanted to make early, and we didn't think they'd pick it early, so it kind of goofed us.
Yeah, makes sense. So, just a few quick words about what happened here today. I mean, what do you think the strongest portion of what you guys were able to achieve today was attributed to?
I think it's combination of mostly, I would say those last 3 games we just outdrafted them. Like the last game on Dragonshire set us up for the Cho'Gall perfectly. They picked the Zul into the Arthas on Tomb of the Spider Queen, which was something that we're okay with because of the auto attack slows. As soon as Arthas stands on Zul, he can't really do anything. And we got like a lot of our comfort picks in terms of being able to control the rotation. And also we're able to put Dota on one of his strongest heroes, which is Ragnaros, which let us like push the advantage a little more. Like we can take down, like at the end of the game there, if we take down a keep, we can take over that keep and then end the game if we have the boss. So we were able to take advantage of that. And then I think that their draft was pretty weak on Braxis was the biggest thing that happened there. And we had a comp that had a lot of synergy, so we were able to just take advantage of that.
That Braxis comp was nasty. I really liked watching that one. I've run something similar, and it's a real beauty of a comp when it works like that. And you guys did it well.
Lucio and Zarya are already kind of a dream together because Zarya has the shields to kind of mitigate for the fact that Lucio doesn't have a burst. And both Zarya and Lucio provide speed, which works so great with the Arthas, so we can really catch up to anybody that we want. So Stukov and Chromie aren't really scary. Once we open up the map a little bit, get that first fort down, which we're able to do really well with the superior wave clear that Gul'dan provides our comp.
Yeah, the Gul'dan Zarya is such an just abusable early game start, and especially when they have to dedicate 2 heroes to dealing with Rexxar in the top lane.
Right. And I think a trend that you'll see if you watch especially a lot of EU right now is that it doesn't really matter what kind of support you have with Gul'dan because he can heal for himself. Like you see a lot of Uthers with solo Uthers with Gul'dans. You don't have to like go the Malfurion or the battery with Oriole. The battery with Oriole even kind of makes it a weaker combination because they have to stay clumped, so you can just dive those 2 at the same time. Kill 2 birds with 1 stone. But yeah, definitely some good games. They beat us pretty hard that first game, so we just had to clean up our drafts and clean up our play a little bit as well.
Yeah, the hero
we had
mosh.
A little, yeah, that was a great mosh pit there. Our positioning just kind of collapsed perfectly to where he got 4 of us, and at the same exact time, I think it was Huffle on Garrosh was trying to taunt the ETC, so he couldn't cast that mosh, and in doing so, he kind of walked into the mosh. Oh my gosh, we have the whole team here.
Hello?
Wow, suddenly an invade.
Yeah.
Oh, we were told to come.
We were here to
nice.
protest.
We came in a party bus.
They're here to talk
But they
shit about
patched it.
casters' choices.
Yeah, we're here to say Edward
I
is garbage.
support
That's
you.
all I wanted to say.
Honestly, you know, Edward Torres was
Feeding in a
kind of a
2v1.
dead weight. Yeah, he was such a dead weight for all of the games. We're very, very disappointed in him, and he's a grandmaster. Probably the shittiest grandmaster.
Hey,
All
Ari,
he did was feed, like
You know-
in
you
game
know what,
2
Arizo?
and 3.
the
Kick
thing that
Ari,
he
kick
doesn't
Ari,
do,
kick
you want to know
Ari.
what the thing he doesn't do is?
What?
Ancestral.
He does some ancestral clones.
Oh yeah, I remember that one time where I did that.
That one time.
That one
to be
time,
fair-
yet you had like a Nubarax fucking what is it called? Cocooning
Cocoon?
clones. Like, come on, what about that?
Well,
No one ever
all
makes
right.
fun of Kozer.
All right.
Yo, that's
Let's get down to the business here. Let's get down to the business here, all right? I got a few questions for you guys. Enough with the memes. Let's get these few questions out the way so you guys can go celebrate, all right?
okay.
Now,
We're going to Chuck E. Cheese after this.
Yeah, for
Awesome.
sure.
now, what are your guys' goals for next season as individuals?
Unfriend Edward.
Actually,
starting with who, Rory?
well, actually,
Start with Ari. She's the captain.
She's just the one talking right now.
Actually, we're not even a team. I was a little bit nervous going into this final because 2+2 is a really good. 2+2 is a really good team. They practice together. They play together. In comparison, we rarely play or practice together. We all have different groups of friends that we play together. Dota practically almost never plays this game anymore. So I was honestly truly nervous facing such a really great team. As for Season 2, we're not going to be here in Season 2 because, as I said, we're not a team. I did have a team, but then it broke apart, and I honestly just asked people I knew, like, "Hey, can you help me finish this NGS?" So, Dota's gonna do his own thing. Jaeger's quitting HOTS because he's a jerk. Edward Torres is, still gonna keep feeding, and Huffle is still gonna be the undeserved MVP.
I'm gonna be collecting retirement checks. It's gonna be pretty nice.
Div C may bring the Clown Fiesta, but you guys bring the memes. I like this. Really well done. I think that's a big instrument of victory, is bringing the proper amount of memes into this.
Well, yeah, it's all about the fun. I mean, like, if you look at EU and NA, EU is always ragging on NA, but everyone knows it's in good spirits. So, hopefully that's interpreted that way from us. But
Absolutely.
we're not that toxic. We're toxic. But
I don't know about that.
Hey, we're really toxic.
We're pretty toxic. I actively unfriend Edward.
Yeah, for sure.
At least 3 times this week.
Yeah, I'm gonna delete Edward and off of my Discord server. Don't you worry about that.
Have you reported him too?
I'm gonna report him for feeding and AFK non-participation and everything else. I'm gonna be like Rich Hero.
Rich Hero, whenever I see Logan, I'm gonna ban him for everything.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys for well, yeah, because I'm just yeah, I'm tired. Either way, thank you very much, you guys, for for coming in and just having a great series to play. I was hoping for a 5th map, but you guys didn't want to fucking give me that, so
honestly,
we tried.
Huffle works nights, so
we we're trying to finish it up because I got work in like 30 minutes.
Yeah, he hasn't even gotten ready yet, and putting his makeup on. So we were gonna
try to core it the last week. We're like, oh my god, work. Never mind, we're going.
Well, either way, congratulations, guys. You definitely deserve that victory after such a great series of games and a great series throughout the entire league as well. And I know we won't be seeing you here next season as a team, but definitely very strong games, and it was a pleasure being able to cast for you guys. And again, everybody who's watching, just stick around here just a few short minutes. We'll be announcing the MVPs of the season, as well as announcing what the prizes were for those who won MVP during the finals. So stick around. We'll be back here in just a moment.
I will say the thanks is both ways, because I think both of you are really, really good casters, equivalent to any of the professional casters. So it was a real pleasure having you guys cast our games.
Hey, thanks very much. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
But what's that word Rory always uses?
Pristine
communication, pristine positioning.
I'm gonna stop giving you fucking compliments because
that's what I like to hear. The greatest when we play. Look at those fucking shit heads running around the map. Yeah, that's what I like to hear.
That's all I hear anyways.
That's all Edward hears. Like, hey, shithead, go do this. Absolutely worthless.
Yep.
I gotta do a quick shout out. I got to shout out to Coach Korikov for making me the player I am today. So I enter this next stage. Yeah.
We're leaving. Enough. It's they're like, goodbye. This interview's over.
Yeah, I don't think you want to keep talking to us.
Yeah,
let us announce MVPs, please. We're busy people.
Yeah, exactly. By the way, my butt hurts in this
Stop.
weird
Okay, I'm leaving this.
Of the computer setup.
Beautiful time.
Bye.
Thanks for everything, guys.
Yep, thank you. Yep.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, well, thank you for joining us.
Jesus Christ.
Wow, that's a team, all right. Well, thank you for joining us. We'll I'm going to end this because this will be the end of the YouTube section. Goodbye, YouTube. This has been 7th Ace at twitch.tv/7th Ace. Come on, stop by. We'll be doing more casts throughout Season 2, along with Rory. Where can you be found at, Rory?
I can be found on twitch.tv/Rory_NL, and I can be found on Discord under the name Rory. I'm one of the moderators for NGS as of a couple of days ago, so pretty excited that I'm able to participate a little bit further. So find me on there if you have any questions, concerns, comments, or if you just have a good meme.
Good memes are hugely important, so again, thank you everybody. This has been twitch.tv/Nexus Gaming Series. Thank you all for joining us. And join us again in Season 2 for more awesome games, extra content, bigger prizes, and overall an even more awesome league. Thanks for joining. Alright, YouTube's done. Roy, let's talk about season MVPs for the rest of Twitch.
Alright, so there was a bit of a, I'm going to call it a kerfuffle with some of the voting. Yeah, so some of the voting was... basically, with MVPs, we were originally going to be having a prize for those who were elected League MVP. We're actually going to be straying away from that just because a lot of the people who voted ended up using a VPN, swapping around their IP, and voting again, and stacking votes for specific people who were, you know, either just friends of theirs or on their team. I don't know. I don't watch what everybody does. But either way, so the straw polls are a little bit slated for a few people. However, I've got the final numbers for legitimate votes. Those are votes that have IPs tied to the Discord, as well as on the straw poll, as well as some people who have informed me of who they voted for if they weren't registered on the Discord. So the final votes will start with Division C, and this is the MVP of the season with a total of 9 votes. That is going to be Rob from Late Game, though. Very, very solid job. He was nominated by somebody on his team. I'm not going to say who, but I'm sure you'll probably know, Rob. So congratulations. You have been nominated and succeeded in winning MVP of Division C. Moving on to Division B. This is actually a tie between both Kaiser and Gunny at 6 votes apiece. So we're actually going to be splitting that prize between the two of them. So Kaiser for Insomniacs and Gunny for Lurk Patrol. Congratulations. You guys are both MVPs of Division Bravo. And moving on to Division Alpha. Coming in on a team that, well, quite frankly, it was a little bit of an uphill battle for them later in the series. But it was for repping Illusion Esports. It was Needens, their support player. Very, very solid job and a great series out of you. You know, you're a very strong player, and congratulations. You have been voted MVP of Division A. So congratulations to those who won League MVPs. Again, they will be posted in the Discord here following shortly. To those who were voted MVP of the entire final series in their respective divisions, we've actually got a little bit of a surprise for you. For each person who was voted MVP in each division series, you are going to be awarded a $20 BattleNet gift card to, you know, just as a quick thank you for playing such great games. And those will be issued here following next weekend. So keep a lookout for either messages on Discord or emails about that, so that those can be awarded to you respectively. And those, again, just to follow up, those are JTR and Coldam, both for Division C. Both you guys played very, very well. You both get a $20 gift card. And then for Division B, I believe you have that available.
Yeah, I put it in chat. That was Burger from Zul'jin and Juice.
All right, awesome. So Burger, you will be getting a $20 gift card as well. And then moving on to Division A, we have Edward Torres for Tilt Tactics, going to be awarded a $20 gift card as well. And that is going to conclude it for our proceedings here today. Again, congratulations to all the teams that won. Congratulations to those who won MVP. It was a pleasure being able to cast for you. And, you know, Ace, thank you very much for partnering here with me to be able to do this.
Yeah, absolutely. It's been a lot of fun. I don't think I can look at another hero screen for another week, but that's okay because Season 2 starts in a week and a day. So we'll be ready to go. Cast more games, new stuff, get excited. I'll see you guys in Season 2. Thank you all very much for the support. And make sure to follow. Again, Rory_NL, 7th Ace, and Nexus Gaming Series, all on Twitch. Thank you all so much. And I'm going to go ahead and end this 8-hour and 53-minute broadcast. Thank you.